5 in this video. And just like with the last unit, there is a useful word section. So let's take a look at the words that they present here. You have be'er, which is pen, matanyat, to sleep, to lie down. And then they have the word basatin, but I would say it's probably sat if we strip away the prefix and what looks like a direct object suffix. We have the word sat for box. Then you have timana or choke for chalk, burchiko for glass, and that means like a glass as in a cup, a glass cup. Kach from the word there, if we strip away again what I think is the definite, or excuse me, the direct object suffix there, kach, which is weak or slender or slim or thin. You have kulf, which is key or lock. Makutar, to count. And another related word that you'll hear often is kutar, which is a noun. It means number, and people use it especially when talking about phone numbers. Marfe, needle. Bota, towel. Samuna, soap. Amatatibia, betu. So that would be the washroom, but amatatibia beit is a washroom or literally a wash house. And like shintibet is a peeing house, a urinating house, or a bathroom. Milach for razor. Wafram, meaning fat or thick. Dug, meaning fine, nice, or kind. Garage, which is a car repair shop. And now we'll jump into the grammatical notes. There's 2 notes in this unit, 25.1 and 2, but 25.1 has 3 subparts, looking at repetition and reduplication, which breaks down into partial and complete. So let's look at 25.1.1, the first subpart here, looking at repetition. And if you remember from unit 12, note 12.4, we saw the repetition of nouns, like mata mata, meaning every evening, or doat doat, every morning. We saw the repetition of pronouns in unit 23, just a couple of videos ago, man man, or min min, meaning which or what. Here, we're going to look at repeated adjectives, which also emphasize plurality. As in the example, dana dana soyoch matu. Which is down here, yes. Dana dana soyoch matu. Many good people came. So the adjective is just emphasizing the plurality of the noun that it's modifying, which is soyoch. And let's look at some of these other examples. Bazu bazu setoch yimata. A lot of women came. Mutfo mutfo ersasoch is I'm not going to buy a lot of bad pencils. So that's it for basically subpart 1 there. Adjectives that are repeated to emphasize the plurality of the nouns they modify. So we'll look at subpart 2 now of 25.1, where we're looking at partial reduplication. We're looking at adjectives and just those adjectives that indicate size or color and how they're reduplicated when modifying nouns in the plural. And we get a list of examples. Basically what happens is, looking at the first example, Tilakatama, a large city, becomes Tilakatamaach. Tinish Wanbar becomes Tininish Wanbarach. So you're getting a repetition within the word of the core of the double consonant in the middle of the word there. Tilak becomes Tilalik, Tinish becomes Tininish, Safi becomes Safafi, Rajam becomes Rajajam. And as you can see from the table below, it gives you the vowel distribution and what happens in the reduplication, depending on what type of vowel it comes after. So if it comes after then you have a consonant with the sound. And we can take a look at the list here. Safi bet becomes Safafi betoch. Safi becomes Safafi. Rajim becomes Rajajim. After it can either be or Tiluk becomes Tililuk. Tinish becomes Tininish. But then you have some examples where, as in the last one, Tikor becomes Tikwakor. Then you have the vowel, pretty much stays the same. So Acher Ersas becomes Achacher. And I think that's the only one in the list there. And for that second, for that vowel, where we see these two, it may seem like it's kind of random, but from what I noticed in the list, it looks like it depends on whether it is a glottalized consonant or not. Remember, those glottalized consonants are cha, as you can see here, cha, ka, ta. Those ones tend to take the vowel afterwards, as in kajin becomes kajachin, achur becomes achachur, nuch, nuchach. And even after like dekor, it doesn't. It takes the vowel dekwakor, but tiluk, which follows the same vowel, and tinish just stays with that vowel. So tiluk, tililuk, tinish, tininish. So that's the pattern that I noticed. It doesn't say that in the text here, but at least based on this list, that seems to be the pattern that I teased out of it. And but they do want you, the author does point out that two examples, wafram and tukor, as we saw, tukor becomes tukwakor, and wafram becomes wafafaram. And so those are two notable exceptions there. And that's subpart 2. And now we look at the final subpart of this first unit, and we are looking at complete reduplication, where the whole word is repeated and you have the vowel in between. And as you can see from the examples, kay becomes kayak, kay, nuch, nuch, anuch, dekor, dekora, dekor. And this corresponds in meaning to somewhat, or the English suffix ish, where we use that in words like blackish, white-ish, to convey that sense of somewhat. And that's the complete reduplication of that. So that covers that for this subpart and for 25.1. And we'll finish out this unit with note 25.2, min madrigano, what is it used for? Recall from note 16.1, we saw the noun of instrument, especially for madrig, to do or to perform. And in that sense, it means it's often used as something which is used for, fill in the blank there. So thus the question here, yamin madrigano, corresponds in meaning to the English, what is it used for? So in the first example that they give us here, mas'af min madrigano, what is a book used for? Mas'af man babia, no, the book is used for reading. And that, so that man babia, the implication is that kind of noun of instrument is also going to be in the answer as well. Man babia, which itself is that noun of instrument used for reading. Then it goes through, gives you a drill exercise where it just gives you a list of these questions along with the answers. Now, what is a pencil used for? Masafia, no, to write, it's used for writing. Butterman Madrigano, Magbiano. So what is a door used for? To open or to enter. Beit min madrigano, menoriano. What is a house used for? It's for living. Wunber min madrigano, makamachano. To sit. What is a door? What is a chair used for? Be'er min madrigano. A pen, I believe, if I remember right, Masafiano, to write. Makina min madrigano. What is a car used for? Mehejano, to go. And remember, notice there, mehed is the infinitive, but with that vowel there, it changes to that other consonant, to that ja consonant. Alga min madrigano. What is a bed used for? Matanyano, to sleep. Warakat min madrigano, paper. Masafiano, for writing. Silk min madrigano, phone. Managagariano, to talk, to converse. Masahaf min madrigano, manbabiano, to read. It's used for reading. Wame mamariano, to learn. Chama min madrigano, just shoe. Mehejano, to go. Mascot min madrigano, window. Manafishano. And this one I had to look this one up. I forget it. Manafisha is to. It's not to open, but it's for a room, for an opening, for a, especially like an opening into to the outside, if I remember correctly. So, but you might want to double check me on that. Masabet min madriga, no, a book house or a bookstore. Manbabiano, to read. Mungad min madrigiano, mehejano, what is a road used for? Or a way, literally. Akimbet min madrigiano, what is the hospital used for? Metamamiano, which metamam is for pain, but obviously not to cause it, to solve it or to treat it. Satin min madrigano, I believe that was a box. And yaka maskamachano, that's yaka, which is things, objects. Maskamachano, which is to place things into. Saat min madrigano, what is the clock or a watch used for? Saat makuteria, no, to count the time. Choke, wim tamina min madrigiano, those are two words for chalk, remember, from the useful word section, choke or tamina. And misafiano. Sini min madrigiano, and sini is a small coffee cup. And yibunamatachano. Burchiko, a glass cup, min madrigiano, yawahamatachano. Benzeb, min madrigiano, yakamagza, no, to buy stuff. What is money used for? To buy stuff. Kulf min madrigiano, makfechano, to open. Anbolik min madrigiano, I believe that's envelope, yadabdabe malakiano, to send a letter. Meter min madrigiano, to a meter, malakiano, to measure things, or to measure distance. Tibet min madrigiano, mariano, what is school used for? To learn. Bank min madrigiano, and maskamachano, to place money in. Murfe min madrigiano, and I believe Murfe was needle. Masfiano, that is masfat, to make, especially clothes. Gabaya min madrigiano, yaka mashachano, and gabaya, forget what that means. Garage min madrigiano, yamakina madashano. What is a garage used for? To repair vehicles. Samuna min madrigiano, soap. Matatabiano, to clean. Babur min madrigiano, what is a stop? Used for. Magwashano, for waiting, or no, not to wait, something else. Autobus tabiamin magiano, autobus makomiano. What is a bus stop used for? It's for waiting for the bus. Bob order would be train. So magwaja is would be, I think it might be to go on a trip. I think it might be related to guzo, which means trip, to travel. Malach, min madrigal. No, malacha, no, that would be razor. So I covered that for unit 25. Thanks for sticking with me through that. And let's go on to unit 26 next. Thanks.